This video fits into step 5 of our sequential DCBIA tutorial videos. It's called Tutorial 5E, Angle Planes. To begin, open 3D Slicer with a 3D model. Under the Modules drop-down menu at the top, select Angle Planes. On the left, there's a list of models that you can drag and open. Click the Compute Around Bonding Box button, which enables the selection box to be all around only your model. Now, you have two options. You can manage planes with your landmarks, or you can choose to manage pre-existing planes, which are red, yellow, and green. We'll first manage planes with landmarks. Select your model. Then, under Connected Landmarks, select Create New Markups Fiducial as, rename as you wish, and then click Add New Plane. By adding a new plane, we'll create a new plane using landmarks that we place. So, on plane 1, we select Add Landmark from the left toolbar. Place the landmarks as you wish on each side. Click on the compass to get different views. You can't make a plane out of 4 landmarks. So, on the left toolbar, we have an option to make a middle point between our landmarks. Click Define Middle Point between 2 landmarks to open up the tab. To create a midpoint between the two, we choose Landmark 1 and Landmark 2 for Landmark A and Landmark B. If you want to put it on the surface, just click the surface check mark, but we don't want it in this situation. So, we create a virtual middle point by clicking Add Middle Point from the left toolbar. The little blue dot that appears is the exact midpoint between 1 and 2. For the first plane, we pick Landmark 3, Landmark 4, and Landmark 5 for L1, L2, and L3. Remember, you can change the views by using the compass in the upper left. So this is the first plane. We're going to create another plane, which is plane 2, in the mandible by clicking Add New Plane. We click I for the inferior view. Click Add Landmark and place the landmarks where you wish. Our goal here is to place the plane in the most inferior point of the mandible. You can always flip your model to make sure your landmark is going in the right place. You can move the landmark you currently have selected, but to move one, you must select it on the left toolbar, where it says Select Landmark. Then you can move it. Remember, the landmarks stick to the mesh. If we look here, the meshes are pretty small, so the landmark can be moved wherever you want. However, if you want to move a landmark here, where there is no mesh, it will look for the closest mesh it can find and stick to it there. To go back to our inferior plane, we click Add Landmark to add another landmark to the other side. We want to make sure it is in the most inferior position, and it is. Now we create the other plane by selecting L1 as 6, L2 as 7, and L3 as 8. After forming the two planes, select plane 1 and plane 2 on the left toolbar. Then click Results. Now you're provided with a data table. Now, we'll show an additional way to make the planes instead of using the landmarks. We hide all the fiducials we just placed by clicking Hide, then click Markups, and hide all fiducials by clicking the eye icon in the left toolbar. The eye will close, and we click the Back button in the top toolbar, which brings us back to angle planes. Click the Manage Planes tab, which hides it because we don't want to manage planes anymore, and do the same for Define Middle Point. Click to hide. We choose the red and green plane to work with here. So, if we want to make the same measurements as before, we manually set the planes to the landmarks we choose, only now the whole plane moves together. If you ever lose something or get unorganized, remember you can click Compute Around Bounding Box and it will become oriented again. We drag the red one to be the mandibular plane. You can take the little arrow and move it to make sure that it's parallel to the mandibular line. Drag the points as you see fit to get the resulting plane you desire. Here, we make sure both posterior and anterior portions are in line. Now, we move to the green one. To move it up and down, you put the cursor over the plane, click and drag it up and down. To change the angulation, click and drag the arrow. Click on the compass to get different views. We're going to move it around again. To change the angulation, click and drag the arrow. Don't forget you can click on the compass to see the different views. We're going to move it around again so it fits this portion of Porian. Seems good on this side, but not on this side, so we have to move it again. Whenever we have an asymmetry and you have 4 points, you can choose 2 points to be your base points, as we do with Porian, then choose an average point for your other points. Once you're set on this average, you can go to Choose Planes and make sure you have the 2 planes you are interested in. We have red and green. Now click Results. This gives the data table. When you've finished, you click Save Planes on the left toolbar, and you can save your planes to any folder you wish. And you can also save your fiducia list by clicking Save on the top toolbar. Thus, landmarks will be placed in the same place if you open the model again. That's the end of this tutorial. Hope you enjoyed watching and learning how to use angle planes.